All right, here we are in this 2006 Cadillac Bill DTS, and we're going to take it for a drive. We put it in drive, the doors lock. As mentioned on my other video, this is a true two-owner car. Second owner recently passed away, unfortunately, but he had owned it from 2006. So he bought the car the same year as the car is, with 18,000 miles, and owned it until current. Took nice care of it, kept it in the garage. Was not a smoker. It runs and drives excellent. Everything works like it should. Air conditioning is freezing cold. It's as comfortable as any Cadillac I've ever driven. Almost as comfortable as a Lincoln Town Car. My heart is with Lincoln Town Cars, but I think the Cadillac is a very nice car. 151,000 miles. It has like new Michelin tires. It has brand new front brakes and rotors, rear brakes and rotors, brand new oil, brand new power steering rack, tie rod ends, and an alignment. So it is ready to go and ready to drive. Also actually had the tires balanced because there was just a little tiny vibration at 60 miles an hour. So I had all the tires balanced with the other service work, and it is now as smooth as silk. Like we're gonna have to stop. It has factory remote start on the remote here. The squiggle emblem right there is the factory remote start. Pretty neat. And lots of features. Heated steering wheel and heated and cooled seats in the front. Heated seats in the rear. There we are at 65 miles an hour, nice and straight and smooth. If you continue to watch this video, we will do a separate segment with a piece of driving on the highway so you can get a sense of the highway driving, but it is nothing short of fantastic. This car rides and glides down the highway just like driving your living room sofa, as I like to say, driving your living room sofa down the highway, because it's the truth. On this video, you may hear from the front a little bit of a knocking. It's kind of like a knocking sound. It's faint, but it's there once in a while, especially when turning. The front struts have some deterioration, but not enough to replace them at this point. They're not leaking or bad or broken, but when turning or negotiating tight spaces, they do make like a binding sound, or even over some bumps like a little bit of a knock, because it's like the upper strut bearings. It is what it is. It's not necessary to replace it fully at this point. At some future point they could use replaced, but with everything else that I did to this car to improve it, that's as far as I was going to go. So it's not an absolute necessity at this time. Straight, smooth braking, no pulsations, of course, as there shouldn't be, because everything is brand new. a quiet luxury cruiser. Jumbo American luxury sedan at a fraction, absolute fraction, about 10%. The price today is about 10% of what this car costs new. I think it's a bargain. It's still just as nice as when it was new, nearly. So continue watching and we will do a segment on the highway. All right, we're gonna go for a highway drive now in this 2006 Cadillac DeVille Touring Sedan, DTS. So I'm gonna put on the right turn signal and show you the blinker turn signal on the mirror, which I think is very cool. I think every car should have, not just big, large cars like this. GM really did that on a lot of their cars in this era, time period, even some of the big SUVs. I think it's very sensible, especially on the highway where people can see what you're doing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Regular speedometer plus a digital speedometer. 81 miles an hour. Look how smooth and straight this car drives. Absolutely wonderful. There's no shakes or shimmies or any weird noises or vibrations from the drivability. The little bit of strut noise that I talked about previously, but out here on the highway when you're cruising, you don't really hear that little bit of strut noise that you hear when you're in town negotiating a bunch of turns. It's smooth and quiet. Fantastic. Just fantastic. So I've set the cruise control to demonstrate that the cruise control works. Cruise set to 81, it tells you right there. So here we are doing 81 miles an hour. We're gonna let the car take over and go into autonomous mode where it's gonna drive itself. Just kidding. That'd be pretty cool for a 2006, but not quite. But drives nice and straight, steering wheel's nice and straight, there's no pulls. This is a pretty nice straight stretch of highway. It's drifting just a little bit because of the crown of the road, but it drives nice and straight. So many new parts on this car and just a lot of car for the money. I think. I always say that, but I really do think, you know, when you can drive a car that was almost $50,000 when it was new and still looks very current and it doesn't cost anywhere near that. And the mileage on this car, really, I know 151,000 miles seems like, oh, it's just kind of normal, but 151,000 miles on a car that's 14 years old as of current date is really, what, 10,000, about 11,000 miles a year. So it is low because it's under the average. You know, this car probably should have 200,000 to be more on the normal average. If you've seen enough, you can stop watching, but we are just going to go back the same way we just came, down the highway again. Like to demonstrate a variety of driving conditions and show different speeds and different it's 85 miles an hour, 86 miles an hour. Look how smooth. Listen to how quiet this cabin is. It's so quiet you could have a whispery conversation in here and probably be just fine. Look at that. 84, 85 miles an hour, just gliding down the highway. It is no, I'm sorry, but it is no exaggeration to say that sitting here when you're cruising like this and the seat is comfortable and the drivability is comfortable, it is like sitting on your sofa or a lazy boy chair and just gliding down the highway. Normal cars do not offer the comfort that a large American luxury car does, in my humble opinion. All right, thanks for taking the time and watching this far. If you did, hope you've enjoyed this driving video. I really enjoy your comments, and I enjoy the number of views that I get from people taking interest in watching me drive cars. It's not like we're doing hot rod burnouts here, but I enjoy to drive these cars and talk about them and show off features and all the things that make them a neat car and give them new life for a new owner. So thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.